What's our side-to-side spread, man? Hey, we're live, but we're just working on some technical issues here. Are we this distance here?
Not quite.
A little bit more. All right. All right, come on around, Dr. B. So, yeah, Facebook Live today, we are going to talk about supercharging your posture. We had this whole thing set up. We were mounted in a tripod, but we were horizontal, and Facebook didn't want that for this one for some reason, so we're now vertical. So hopefully this still plays out great for you guys. So something that's been crazy in my household to watch this last little bit since we've had some of this isolation stuff going on is just the way that our families aren't moving in the way that we normally would be moving. Human body, first of all, created for a tremendous amount of variety of movement. So all my kids' activities are canceled. Our gyms are closed, so we're not going through our regular workout routines. My kids would have normally been playing stuff like hockey and rowing and triathlon and all these different things that would have had their body engaging and doing multiple things. And yes, just like your household, how my kids are spending more time than they ever have before is how? Yeah, totally hunched over, right? So posturally, I would say that it's potentially one of the worst times I've ever seen in my life for what that's doing to all of us. So all the extra screen time, I've seen multiple sources and references talking about this week how screen time is at an all-time high. Online digesting of content and entertainment and Netflix and social media and all those different things, which is great. I mean, I'm super grateful for those things at this time. However, the issue is they dramatically negatively affect your
posture, guys.
Yeah, so end of story is we wanted to give you guys a little routine that you can do with your family to help supercharge your posture. If you did this once or twice a day, the cumulative effects of this would be absolutely outstanding for you and your family. It'll help with everything from not only posture, but it'll help your mind be able to work more clearly. It'll help with the way that you circulate cerebrospinal fluid up and around your brain. It'll be good for your immune system to get your spine moving. There'll be all kinds of really great benefits for you with regards to having some posture consciousness in this time. So we want to thank our friends at Lindenwood's Chiropractic in Manitoba for inspiring us to do this. They did a great job of this for their own patient base. And so we're going to take the exact same route with ours. So thanks, guys, in Manitoba for that. So Dr. B, what's the first one we've got here?
So the first exercise is called the Bruegger Exercise. So basically with those prolonged postures that we're seeing a little more of these days, down like this with technology, sitting on the couch like this, we want to combat that. So when you're sitting like that, everything is contracted in this manner. So the Bruegger Exercise helps to open up the chest and get that head right back over your shoulders.
So as a point of reference, Dr. B, if someone's looking at somebody from the side profile, as a point of reference, just a really good superficial way to see how you're doing, you'd want to see that the ear of the body is in relationship to the shoulder, so you wouldn't want that head creeping way forward like this, which is what it naturally does when it leans towards something like a screen, when it leans towards your windshield in your car. Whenever you're straining forward to look at something, which we do subconsciously, you're making this go the wrong way. So the ear should be over the shoulder. You want the shoulders to be nicely positioned over the hips, and then the hips you want nicely positioned over the ankles. Today's society, everything's collapsing forward way too quickly. Shoulders come forward, tightening up all the muscles on the front. Head comes forward, shortening all the tissues on the front. So this Bruegger exercise is designed to combat that. So go ahead and demonstrate that for us. I'll get out of your way here. Okay. So what Dr. B is doing is he's doing the exact opposite with his posture here. So he's turned his palms out and back. He's literally brought his head back over his chest, and he's trying to, or his head back over his shoulders, and he's trying to squeeze his shoulder blades together, almost as if he would be trying to pinch my hand between his shoulder blades here. So go back to neutral again, and just relax, and show us that again. So palms roll out, head comes back, opening up the front of the chest, and engaging these muscles across the back side of the body. Thanks, Dr. B. So Dr. B, how many reps do we want with that?
So what we want to do, guys, there's 8 to 10 reps, and you're going to do 2 sets of that. And like Dr. Matt said, you can try that out 1 or 2 times a day.
Yeah, how long would they hold that for?
So it's kind of what we've experienced is for relief of stress, you can inhale when you're coming back and exhale. So kind of on the count of 2 to 3 would be a recommendation there.
So basically inhale, come back. That breath too, just so you know, in a time like this where people are a little bit maybe on the anxious side, they're under tremendous amounts of stress, that breath is a super important thing for being able to reset the autonomic nerve system. So tons of studies on stress show that breathing is a very, very good way to reset your neurology to a point where it's under less stress. Just think about that young child who comes running into you and they're in a state of panic, or they're afraid of what's just gone on. They had a bad dream in the middle of the night. When they come in, every parent typically always says, honey, just relax, take a deep breath in, settle, breathe for me, right? We instinctually know that as a way to help calm and relax the body. So that's why adding breath to that's super important, especially right now, okay? Number 2, this particular movement, this might be the hardest one just from an activation of muscle perspective, but it's also, in my opinion, probably one of the most powerful movements that we can do to really fully engage the whole backside of the body. So from hamstrings to glutes to low back to backside of the neck, postural activation, everything. This is super important. So the first thing that'll happen, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but Dr. B is going to bend his knees and he's going to just slightly shift his hips backwards. So he's not rounding the flat part of his back like this. He's not rounding it out. He's actually shifting the hips backwards and maintaining this arch in the lower part of his back. A slight head retraction to keep the head over top the shoulders, and then he's going to bring the arms up and over top in line so that it's like we've got a nice good straight line all through here. And that there, he would want to try to sustain that positioning for 20 to 30 seconds if it's possible, but it's a hard one. Dr. B, how you doing right now?
Yeah, it's very hard to feel the burn.
Yeah, okay, so you can come on up. So what I would say is that this is a tremendous activator for this area here, for this area here, and after 18 years in practice, I would tell you that if you struggle at all, like if you, and I hear this complaint a lot from patients where they would say, hey, you know, I usually do great, but all of a sudden, after Thanksgiving or Christmas, when I'm standing at the sink and I have a lot of dishes to wash and I'm in that posture, right, I feel my back really hurt in this area here. Or moms, for example, who are carrying weight out front of their body by holding their babies out in these positions, they'll feel a lot of strain through here. This one here, where you get the hips back, knees bent, head back over the shoulders, and those arms coming up into this position, tremendous for training and recalibrating and resetting the posture on this back side here. So I can just tell you right now as I push into Dr. D, all these muscles all the way along the back side are all super engaged in him right now. It's a fantastic training. Even if you just do it for a few seconds, super important. Very, very good little reset. So 2 sets, but try to hold that if you can for 20 to 30 seconds. If you can't, then you can't. Start with 3 or 4 seconds. If your arms can't come right up in line like this and you can only get them out this far to start, great. You'll keep coming more and more with time, okay? So Dr. B, next one, what's it called?
So next one, guys, is called wall angels. So kind of the same mentality as that Bruegger. We're going to start to open up the chest and also get a lot more mobility through the shoulders and through the shoulder blades too.
Yeah. So one of the things, again, like we talked about, is the front part of people's bodies becoming less and less flexible. You know, oftentimes hear patients talk about how they tear their rotator cuff doing something so simple as just reaching for a mug on the second shelf in their kitchen. A lot of that has to do with the front part of the body just really shortening a lot. So when Dr. B does this, first thing to realize is we want 3 points of contact along the back to start with. So first one's the hips, so he slides his hips back until his pelvis touches the wall behind him. He's got his shoulder blades back on the wall, and now he's bringing his head back. So he's perfectly linear from that posture perspective we talked about. Then what he's going to do is he's going to bring his arms up into a position where he has got his elbows touching the wall, and then he's going to externally rotate the arms until his wrists will touch the wall. His hands and his wrists are touching the wall. So now these are all touching the wall, and once he's achieved this position here, then it becomes safe for him to try bits of movement up and down. So he's going to slide his arms up the wall as best as he can, and as soon as he feels part of him, right, starting to come off the wall, so his hands or his wrists are just starting to come off the wall, now he's done with that and he can come back down, and same thing, come down as far as he can while sustaining the hands and wrists and all these points of contact against the wall. So then you would go back up again, right? And same thing with this, guys. 8, 6, 8, 10 reps, 2 sets. If you have shoulder injuries, like you guys know I dislocated my shoulder this year, my movement along that wall is significantly reduced, okay? But over time, as you do that more and more, those shoulders in the front of the chest will be able to gain more flexibility and you'll be able to do it. So it doesn't have to be all or none, do to the best of your ability. Any other modifications to that at all?
I would say, guys, just don't get discouraged. Like, even for myself, getting up this high is about as high as I can go comfortably. So as you start to incorporate that on a day-to-day basis, you're going to see that range start to increase as the flexibility increases as well.
Yeah, so what's the last one we got, Dr. B?
So last one is called the Titanic. So this one is aptly named after our little friend Jack on the Titanic. So as you remember, he stands on the front like this. So we're going to start out here. Dr. Matt's going to describe how we're going to do that.
Yep. So what we want is we want something that you might have around your house to create space between your chest and the wall. So you guys could use a shoe box. If you have a yoga block, you can use a yoga block. You could use a roll of paper towel. This is Dr. B's Deneral neck orthotic that he can use for this. So just to show you from a practical perspective, you don't need anything fancy, but here, for example, is a roll of paper towel. So the first thing Dr. B is going to do is put this behind his shoulders. So now his chest and his thorax are off the wall. So it's pushing his chest up, front, forward like this. Next thing he's going to do is he's going to try to reestablish those points of contact that we talked about in some of the other examples. So the hips have now come back to the wall. He's going to bring his head back to the wall as well, and then he's going to externally rotate those arms into that Titanic position, that famous Leonardo DiCaprio position here. So Dr. B right now, again, is opening up the front of the thorax. He is bringing the hunching round shoulders up and forward into a more posturally acceptable position, and he's getting that head back over the shoulders. Okay, you can come on down, Dr. B. And same thing, what he would do is he would hold that position for 3 to 4 seconds, and he would do 6 to 8 reps as far as that goes. So those are your 4 posture reset things that you should do. My advice to you would be for you yourself to run through all 4 of those, and then I would say that at this time, while you're in your house a lot with your family, pick 2 times a day. Just randomly call them out. Just say, hey, everybody, come on down to the living room. We're going to do our posture reset. It'll take 5 to 7 minutes. It'll connect everybody in a way where it'll be calming for their bodies. It'll be good to get that extra movement going on, and it'll be just awesome for long-term things like social media time and Netflix time and all the rest of that stuff. So we are going to hopefully be able to bring you guys a couple more of these just cool little DIY at-home things that you can do for yourself to keep yourself strong and healthy. Posture right now is a huge one, so I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, write it down in the comments below. If you have any suggestions or desired topics for future videos from us, again, same thing, put that down in the comments below. We'll be happy to bring you whatever content's going to be helpful for you during this time. Also want you guys to know that we've been praying for you. We are remaining hopeful to be back to regular operations as soon as possible. I have had a tremendous time connecting with many of you guys over social media, many people in the office for essential visits. And so we are blessed to be a part of your life. If you need anything, we are here to support you. Please don't hesitate to ask. Anything else, Dr. B?
So yeah, I'm going to post the different exercises as well as the amount of sets and repetitions in the comment section below. And again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, guys.
Awesome. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. It is a good day. Don't let anybody take that away from you. It is a good day. Enjoy.
Take care, guys.